Yo, what's going on, y'all, boys? What's going on, everybody? Man, it's your boy Rick. I'm back again, and so it's December 12th, right? The night of December 12th, and so the Heisman is going to be this weekend as on Saturday. So I had to get this video out to y'all, before Saturday, of course, because I want to give y'all my thoughts on who I think is going to win. And I kind of want to know y'all thoughts on who y'all think is going to win actually before the ceremony takes place. And so kind of, I know everybody is kind of feeling like at this point, it really comes down to like two people. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just run through everybody, but I know it really comes down to two people for everybody, kind of. But I'm also giving my thoughts because I have a clear-cut winner, and I know people are going to disagree with me or probably whatever the case may be. But all right, so let's just go through this, right? So we're just gonna run through. We're gonna run down as they talk about each person. So they talk about Dilliongabriel first. He's really in it because Oregon is undefeated. 73 completion percentage. For y'all that have been watching college football last year, know that that's super close to what Bo Nix was. The style of offense that Oregon runs, the completion percentage is always high. You're throwing to like wide open people. It's like routes on air. You're not really throwing to contested people a lot, which is like the opposite of what like camward kind of had to do. But everybody. Dilliongabriel is probably last on everybody's list, but what we know about college football is if your team goes undefeated, somebody from that undefeated team got to be in there. So Dilliongabriel, 73%, 274 yards per game, 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, which is really good. That's a great season. Nothing about it makes it say Heisman that jumps out at you, but he does have like the wins that you got to kind of give to him. So you go to the next one, travishunter. Shout out to my guy Charles Woodson, only defensive player to win the Heisman. So of course that's who they're gonna compare Travis to. Travis had 14 receiving touchdowns, 1,100 yards. He had he had a rushing touchdown this year, and he had 11 pass breakups and 4 interceptions. Now, 11 pass breakups and 4 interceptions for any individual DB in a season. That DB would probably go 102 in rounds 102 in the NFL draft coming up. He'll definitely be on Mel Kiper's big board. So for him to do that on one side of the ball, but then also put up 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns, which you'll have receivers going in the second and third round with those stats. You can see like across the board, he was really good on both sides of the ball, right? Can't really take that from him. And then stamina, you got to give that to him. Like if I'm not getting tired after all that work, man. Come on, shout out to the kid. Great season. Next, you got ashtonjeanty had 2,497 rushing yards, which is the 4th highest in a single season total. The only people I know of him is Barry Sanders, and I think guy used to play for Wisconsin. Melvin Gordon. It's probably Melvin Gordon. Monty Ball. One of those guys had a lot of rushing yards. I don't know who the other person is. But that's kind of ridiculous. He averaged 7.26 yards per carry, which is wow. He rushed for at least 125 yards in 13 straight games, averaging 190 yards per game per season, and top it all off, had 29 rushing touchdowns. That is a wild stat line. Then you got camward, who, as far as quarterback seasons go, he had the best one in my opinion. Miami couldn't stop a cold. Miami's defense was just ridiculous. But either way, though, camward had a great season. He had the 36 passing touchdown. That led the nation. 4,000 passing yards, which was crazy. 343 passing yards per game. 41 total touchdowns, which is crazy. They had the second highest score. They had the highest scoring offense in the nation. And they still lost 2 games, and they could have lost more because Camward was just saving Miami. He was putting that team on his back. He was carrying them. And so he definitely deserves a recommendation. So with that being said, that's the stats for everybody, right? So now let's get to what I think, right? What does Ricky think? I know y'all are wondering, what does Ricky think? I'm going to tell y'all right now. Saquon Barkley, just to bring up NFL, Saquon Barkley should be the MVP. And I'm going to start this so y'all know where I'm going at. People are like, well, a quarterback is the most important player on the team. If you watch the Philadelphia Eagles play, you can say the most important player on this team is their running back. And you can make an argument like, well, the way quarterbacks work and the way quarterbacks operate, they are the most important player because they touch the ball every play and they make all the decisions and yada, 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 which is true. That is set in stone. But we're talking season by season, play by play impact on why these teams are good. Saquon Barkley for the Philadelphia Eagles should be the NFL's MVP. With that being said, Ashtonjeanty should win the Heisman and it shouldn't be close. This stat line of 29 touchdowns. Y'all have to understand how much points a team score. 29 touchdowns rushing. Then I think he had another 2 receiving touchdowns, which is not even brought up. And 2,400 yards rushing in 13 games is ridiculous. The closest thing I can think of is the 88 season for Barry Sanders. He won the Heisman. The last running back to win the Heisman, Derrick Henry. How much yards did he rush for? 2,200. He rushed for more than Derrick Henry already. What's the running back that won it before Derrick Henry? Mark Ingram. He only rushed for 1,600 yards. But then people say, oh, that's Bama. They play in the SEC. I'm glad y'all said that. That's a good point. This is my counterpoint. The conference that you play in football, right? It doesn't matter because the teams are playing other teams in that conference, right? So in order to be an SEC team, you have to have SEC caliber players. So you have Jeanty by himself. And so put it like this. The defensive line is a Mountain West Conference defensive line. And their offensive line is a Mountain West Conference offensive line. Meaning, ain't no bunch of other players on Boise State all about to get drafted high. That's not about to happen. It's just going to be him. And they come into the game saying, we have to try to find a way to stop him. And you just can't do it. You just can't do it. Running through people, breaking tackles, he's doing it all. And I think running backs are getting so kind of undercut. And obviously my second vote will go to Travis, because let's not undercut the complication of playing both ways. Let's not skip past that. But when running backs have seasons like this and to stay healthy, 344 carries to stay healthy. Actually, I'm gonna give y'all a fun fact. The year Derrick Henry won the MVP with that 2,200 yards, he had 395 carries. Ashtonjeanty got 344. He got 50 less carries. 50 less carries and 220-something more yards. Come on, man. We cannot let these great seasons by running backs go unnoticed because it's quarterback heavy driven. And then the people, and Travis is a one-of-a-kind player. So I understand people voting for Travis, but hey, my pick is in. It's Jeanty. And to me, it shouldn't really be close because this is crazy. This is amazing. And Boise State only got 1 loss. Nobody want to talk about that. And all you can do is play the teams on your schedule. So they beat everybody except I think they only lost is Oregon. Number 1 team. So that should tell you something. And if Jeanty does this, and he also had a great game against Oregon, but if he does this in the college football playoff, win or lose, that shows that he's that valuable for that team. So, man, look, that's my thoughts, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all get at me in the comments, man. Y'all fire me up. Let me know, man. We disagree, man. Rick, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Y'all do all that, man. But just make sure y'all drop a like, man, so that we can really have this conversation and then we can tune back in and, do what we got to do, man. So this your boy, Rick, man. I'm out of here. Peace.